I need to say something, but I'm going to wait until we get to it.
All right.
Welcome to another episode of First Reaction Fan Reaction. I'm your host, Dara Whitman. Here with me is my lovely and stressed out co-host,
Cailin. Clove here.
This is fun. I had fun.
This is a good time, I guess, if you like that sort of thing.
Look, it was a good time for me.
Yeah,
which is
you
all
get
that.
to watch my pain and suffering.
Was there that much pain and suffering?
I'm not sure if there's a lot of pain and suffering, but there's certainly a lot of goings-ons.
It's like the last time we did like an episode 7 of 8 in season 1.
Yeah.
It was a thing.
It was certainly a thing.
And my God, was it a thing.
Oh my God.
A lot happened. There was, I think probably like every single emotion happened in these 2 episodes.
Oh yeah.
Every single one. How you doing?
Like a vast range of an emotional spectrum. Well, I'm hanging in there.
All right, well, let's start off with season 2 of Orphan Black. We're still on that. Episode 7, Knowledge of Causes and Secret Motions of Things.
Yeah, that.
So this wasn't 100% like an Allison-centric Her World episode, but like a good portion of it was.
Yeah, it definitely had that feel.
Like I mentioned in the one thing, we had Family Day.
Family Day at the rehab.
Wasn't that fun?
That was certainly a thing that happened. Oh my gosh.
Okay, well, let's start off a little bit with Allison. She's hanging out with Vic, because why not?
Because they were buddies.
Because they were buddies, and then she wants to get something off her chest, so she basically just tells Vic, "You good?
Yeah.
There's a cat.
There's a cat on me."
She basically reveals to Vic that she was there when Ainsley died.
She killed her.
She killed her, didn't do anything, and she's like, "Oh, I gotta feel so much better." And the look on Vic's face
is like, "Oh, okay.
Okay then, that's a thing."
That's certainly a thing that happened.
And sadly, and it's like the so sad thing, because he just doesn't really care, and she made him gloves.
She made him custom gloves that were missing a finger, just like he is.
Yeah. And she's about to, because he forgets them while he's going to his room, so she's going to give them back to him. And she hears him on the phone, and clearly she can hear him talking to Angela.
Angela D'Angelo. Isn't that her name?
DeAngelis.
DeAngelis. That's a lot of
about
angels.
The whole thing, and and Allison's just upset. It's bad.
She's understandably upset with that.
So she calls Felix to try to help out, and he's like, "I'll be there in the morning."
Yeah.
We good. So, there's that.
Mm-hmm.
So before we finish off with that, let's go to Sarah. They're with Ethan at his place, her and Mrs. S, and they're looking for a red box, which they find, and they're at first kind of upset because they think it's a bunch of knickknacks.
Yeah, it looks like a bunch of memorabilia that doesn't really do much. So
they're about to head out, but before that, Sarah gets a call from Cal, and he's been trying to figure out who the Dyad is, and they hack his computer.
Yeah, they turn on his webcam.
That's not good. And he's still being a good dad because Kira's having a nightmare, and he's there. So
he's just a good dude.
But he's also really good with technology because when he figures it out and just kind of tries to hide it and then goes away. Yeah. So Sarah's going to meet up with him, and then Mrs. S is going to take care of Ethan. And before Mrs. S and Ethan leave to go to her place, he gets the red box, and just takes out all the knickknacks. Turns out what was in there is a bunch of floppy disks.
Yeah.
With all the information.
The OG info on clones and stuff.
So what we're saying is Ethan Duncan is mad, but there's a sense to his madness.
But he's a mad genius.
Yes. So Sarah meets up with Cal, and then she gets to see Kira again, and they're all cutesy, and everything's cute.
Yeah, everything's good.
Everything's lovely.
Momentarily.
Cal also brings up this is something that he's got some connections in Reykjavik.
Yes, Reykjavik.
In Iceland.
So,
there's that.
They could always go there and start over. Start fresh.
Or hide out for a bit, maybe.
Yeah.
Anyway. So, meanwhile, Felix goes to go back to Allison. Felix meets up with Allison before Family Day.
Mm-hmm.
They get Vic in there, and they're trying to don't tell Angela about the fact that Allison was in a place when a woman got killed.
Yeah, that's bad info.
Let's not do that. And Vic says, I want to see Sarah.
Yes.
So, got another problem. So now Sarah's got to go to the rehab during Family Day. What could go wrong?
Yes, what could possibly go wrong?
Everything.
Everything could go wrong.
So Sarah goes there. She sees, they get her in a room with Vic. Vic apologizes, and Sarah's just like, all right, whatever, it's fine.
Mm-hmm.
And they have a kind of a conversation. Sarah apologizes as well.
Mm-hmm.
Vic says he wants her back, and we're just like, stop.
Yeah.
Stop.
Just don't do the thing that you're doing.
Nope. And then he passes out.
Yeah.
Felix spiked his tea. How'd you feel about that?
He basically roofied him. Oh, no. And I felt like kind of bad because I was like, oh, no, this guy's going to get kicked out of rehab because they're going to think he relapsed. But at the same time, I'm like, oh, he was going to sell out Allison. Do I care?
Yeah, I think that was like part of the thing, saying like maybe like if Sarah couldn't get there in time, they would just like knock him out.
Yeah, and then he would just miss the meeting.
Yeah, so now they got to figure out. I also love it. He falls into like all of Allison's craft stuff.
Yeah, so he has glitter all over him.
He's covered in glitter and feathers. It's adorable.
And blood.
And blood. And they're trying to, Sarah and Felix are trying to get rid of him, but one of the nurses comes in and says, Allison, what are you doing?
Mm-hmm.
So the real Allison, it was dealing with like her family and stuff. And then Sarah, they think that Allison was like in her room for a bit. But then they like force her to get out, and she's like, crap. So now Sarah's got to be Allison again.
Yeah, this is just like that the last time that happened. And we all know how well that turned out.
Well, Donnie was getting tortured when Sarah was being Allison. Anyway. And then Allison comes back into the room, and now they got to hide the body, and Sarah's got to be Allison more with like this big presentation and role-playing game, which is just, it's a thing, guys. It's a giant, giant thing. But anyway, so they hide Vic's body from Angela. Everybody thinks he might have relapsed. Angela doesn't get any of her information. It's great.
Yeah, all works out.
We did it.
Yay.
Then everybody goes back. Felix, Allison, and Sarah go back into her room, and they're just trying to there's a bit of a argument.
Yeah,
and then who walks in?
But
Donnie.
That was crazy. I didn't think they were gonna do that, but they did it. And
the look on his face.
Yeah,
poor baby.
He didn't know.
He didn't know.
He didn't know anything.
Yeah, and I was kind of like, because like Alice doesn't just like assume that he knew about the clones.
Right, if he was a monarch, he assumed that he knew
everything. Which is like,
but
I'm either thinking Sarah didn't tell them that Paul didn't know, but I think she did.
No, she did. Because they talked about the double blind last time.
Yeah, which I was kind of thinking like, so why would you assume that Donnie knew if Paul didn't know? But then I'm also like, well, Delphine did know.
Yeah.
So, you never know.
Could go either way.
Could go either way. But it turns out he didn't know. And we found out how Donnie actually got involved with this, it was literally just a professor told him about like this study, and they said, "What are you doing on your wife, or this this person that like you're dating or whatever?" I don't know what they were. And that's
right.
And he's like, "Okay."
Yeah, he just.
He did the thing. He did a thing,
but he didn't realize what it actually meant.
He didn't realize what it meant, and he didn't know about like if like doctors were like coming in and like probing his wife, and he's upset.
Yeah, I think he's realizing what everything means.
He kind of screwed up, guys.
He done messed up.
How do you feel about Donnie now?
Donnie.
Especially within the last like 2 episodes.
Like that, my whole like progression of Donnie is like Donnie, 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 Donnie. Like that's my whole progression of the character.
Yeah. So, and Allison's just like, I don't know, like it didn't sound like she wanted to like break up with him over this. It was kind of just like, you need to like think about what you did.
Yeah.
Also think of the children.
Think of the babies.
All right. So there is, I don't know how much more there is with Sarah and Allison. There's a little bit more with Sarah. There's some more with Donnie, but we're going to get to that. Actually, we're going to go to Mrs. S for a bit.
Oh, okay.
And Rachel.
Because
we talk about basically they set up, basically Mrs. S goes to see Dr. Leakey to figure out what does Rachel know.
Yeah, does Rachel know that Leakey killed her mom?
Sounds like she doesn't.
Right.
At all. So basically from their discussion, they're trying to like figure out like they want to make a deal for like all the science stuff and maybe not Dr. Leakey. We also get introduced to a new character named Marion, who is a person. Yes.
What's her deal? She's new. Yeah, she is new, right?
Yeah.
Because I was like, I don't remember her. Okay. Yeah. So she's this lady.
Let me actually.
But I don't get good vibes from her.
I mean, we don't really know much about her. I'm going to say she's going to be in a bit more. We'll get to her.
Okay.
Like I wouldn't say later on. Yeah, we'll get to. She's an interesting person. Cause I'm about to say, because I think, cause like when I first saw her, she looked really familiar.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna look up some stuff that she's been in. Her name's Michelle Forbes, so that's a fun name. She was in a Hunger Games movie, so there's that.
Oh, wait, who was she in the Hunger Games movie?
Lieutenant I think she was like a small role, like Lieutenant Jackson. It was in Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 2, which I've not seen.
Oh, okay. I only saw that once. That's the one I've seen the least amount of times.
Aw, I found she was in an episode of Star Trek The Next Generation, and her character's name was Dara.
Ah, nice.
Yep, and
You're connected.
she was on 24 for a bit. I think she's in a lot of television. Guiding Lights for a little bit. Oh, that's where I knew it. She was the villain in the second season of True Blood.
Okay.
That's where I knew her from. She was on Battlestar Galactica for a bit, The Killing. Yeah, she's in a lot of television. So there's that. Anyway, back to that. So that happens, and then also, so Mrs. S decides to arrange a meeting between Ethan and Rachel.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so they have their meeting, and it's very emotional.
It is.
Yeah.
Like, and because like I found myself being like, oh, but I'm like, wait a minute, I hate that bitch. But at the same time,
she's got emotions.
She has emotions. She hides them. That's bad. Please don't repress your emotions.
Yeah, and it seems like she really does like care about, her dad and like loves her dad.
Mm-hmm.
And then also so then she finds this out and confronts Leaky.
Mm-hmm.
And then she calls Marion. And it sounded like Marion was trying to like wanted to have Leaky killed.
Yeah.
And Rachel being I guess like a sense of mercy just said run.
Yeah.
And they won't catch up with you.
Because they were planning to get him.
So, that happened. So, Leaky's a bit screwed.
Yeah.
So there's that.
Just a bit.
There's a little bit with Cosima.
Mm-hmm.
We know that she's receiving stem cell research. She gets injected into her uterus. Were you concerned about that for a second and then you realized what was going on?
Yeah, I was
I thought it was Helena again.
I just get really uncomfortable when I see a bunch of strips and long things that are supposed to get inserted into your vagina.
But to be fair, this was A, consensual, B, a science thing, and helpful.
Okay, I'm all for consensual science.
It's fine.
All good.
And then Cosima hears Scott and Delphine talking about the stem cells.
Mm-hmm.
And Cosima learns that they're from Kira's baby tooth, which I'd mentioned she got.
Yeah.
They got. And Cosima's pissed.
Yeah.
And,
understandably so.
And yes. And to be fair to Delphine, like, she didn't know of who they were from until after she found out they were working.
Right.
So she was a bit conflicted. So there's that. And, like, I feel bad. Like, Delphine's, like, doing this out of love.
She would do anything for love.
Including that.
But I will do that.
Yep. And obviously, like, it's like a big dilemma. Like, look, the stem cell's helping, but it comes from this person who you know, and it's a child.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard. Because especially considering that Cosima calls Sarah and says, like, we need more.
Mm-hmm.
And then Cal, like, she tells Cal about it and they get into a fight. And then Kira, being the badass that she is, gets some dental floss and does the whole door thing.
Yeah. Oh my God. Wow. What a little badass.
What
She's
a little
good.
badass. She mentioned that her tooth was already wiggly, which is, like, it was wiggling, it was loose anyway.
Yeah, so
which is kind of a point. Like, a lot of her teeth, like, I'm not saying pull them all out immediately, but, like, some of them are probably, she's 7, like, a lot of them are going to fall out.
Yeah.
So, I'm just saying, like, you need to give her, like, not just, like, $1 from the Tooth Fairy, but, like, some, like, $100 gift card to some ice cream place.
Yeah.
Because she deserves it, because, God, she's so good.
She deserves it. She deserves everything.
And
she
then,
deserves the world.
Yes, and then Sarah takes Kira, and they are going to go back to Mrs. S or somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Who knows? And Cal mentions that they practice a number, and that if she's in an emergency, she should call it.
Yes. Very good.
Want to get to the finale of this episode?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's do it. Let's do this.
Leaky is running off, running away from the people who might kill him, and there's a car that is following him.
Yes.
Who's in the car? Turns out it's Donnie.
It's Donnie.
What were you thinking?
I don't know. I don't know who it's gonna be. I don't think I wasn't expecting Donnie.
No. What were you thinking? Like when he saw Donnie, like where you think, and then he pulls out what we find out later, Allison's gun.
Yeah.
What do you think about that? Were you concerned?
I didn't think he was gonna kill. I thought he was just threatening him, which he was.
And then he's upset and basically saying like, "I'm done."
Yeah.
He yells out, "I quit."
Yeah.
unfortunately, Donnie's not great with guns.
No.
So he hits it. So he hits his hands on the steering wheel. He has his hand on probably some on the trigger. The gun goes off. Shoots Leaky in the head. And it's like blood everywhere.
Oh my god.
So Leaky, R.I.P., definitely dead by Donnie's
definitely dead. There was blood everywhere. Oh my god. There was blood everywhere.
I wasn't sure if you were gonna honestly, I wasn't sure if you're gonna see this coming. And then your reaction, I was so happy that it was that. I'm just like, yes.
Oh my god.
What are your thoughts? Go.
Oh my god. I was not expecting that at all. I was not expecting that at all. Especially because, I had this, kind of thought this was going to be, an Allison episode, and, which they're not that they're not serious, but it was definitely, I was expecting it to be a lot more lighthearted. Mm-hmm. And then all of a sudden, she's like, they just kill him, and, I don't know, because I thought it was interesting because when he left, because I'm like, oh, Rachel's going to spare him. I wonder, how Leaky's gonna come back, if he's gonna get away, and what kind of other sources does he have? I'm going through this in my head, and then he's like, oh wait, he's dead. Alrighty then, okay, yep. I guess we're done with that.
Yes.
Oh my god, did not see that coming.
That was a great. That's good. I don't care how graphic it is. That reaction's going in.
Oh yeah.
And it's just I hope, I don't know if that was a reference Pulp Fiction, but I hope it was.
Oh my god, I didn't even think about that. Yeah. Pulp Fiction.
Dude, I was watching it on some channel one time, and they kind of, I guess because it wasn't a HBO kind of channel, they kind of just cut that whole bit for a bit, and I'm just like, what? Why? That's my favorite.
Yeah.
Yeah, that totally shocked me when I first watched it. I'm like, what the fuck?
Oh my god.
Oh my god. So that's a fun way to kill someone. You're just like, what the hell? And also now Donnie's a murderer as much as Allison or more than Allison?
Yeah. We'll have to wait and see.
Oh, it's gonna so well, but maybe this will bring them together.
Yeah, maybe they will bond over their mutual accidental murders.
You want to get to the next episode after this break?
Let's get to the next episode.
All right, guys, we'll be right back. Talking about season 2, episode 8, variables and full of perturbation. Perturbation. Welcome back. Let's talk about season 2, episode 8, shall we?
Oh, yes, let's do it.
So we start off with a van just running, driving by. It looks like somebody's after them.
Yeah.
One of them's one guy's shot, clearly.
Yeah. But
there's 2 guys. One's kind of a bigger, kind of bald guy.
Yeah.
And the other guy has his face covered. Mm-hmm. When did you start putting the pieces together?
When I heard the voice.
Yeah.
Yeah, as soon as I heard the voice, I was like, oh.
It's are they doing this?
Oh, this is something else. This is a clone.
It is a clone.
This is another clone.
It's another clone.
It's a clone we haven't met yet.
Played by Tatiana Maslany, but he's trans.
Yeah.
This is Tony.
Nice.
Yes. That's a thing. We'll get to it.
Yeah.
But his buddy / monitor probably is shot.
Yeah.
And basically says they talk about this police detective that called them a while ago.
Right.
And that he has a message and that the one guy who's dying has a message for her, and that Tony needs to go give it to her. So
right.
So he does. Art meets up with him, the clone, because the other guy's probably dead. Yeah. And it's just everybody's just kind of like, what? Mm-hmm. And so him and Felix kind of deal with Tony. That kind of thing.
It's Art and Felix are on Tony duty this episode. Yeah.
So, but before we get to that, we're at Mrs. S's house, and basically they're kind of patrolling. She has people she shows patrolling the house. Mm-hmm. I forgot to mention this, that Mrs. S left a threat saying, if anybody comes to attack us, I'm putting a bullet in your dad's head. Mm-hmm. So that's a threat. Right. Good times. Mrs. S gets to see Kira again. Hooray.
Yay. Yay. It's cute. It's a cute reunion.
It is a very adorable reunion. I'm trying to remember if anything happened that much. I don't think that much was with Sarah this episode, which is interesting.
Yeah, she's kind of in between things.
She's in between things. And she's mainly hanging out with Kira, and then she's in the end for a bit. Yeah. So there's that. Well, actually, there is the one big thing, which kind of involves Cosima Casima's actually does a lot this episode. It's like one of her big ones. So we'll talk about her for a second.
Yeah.
So they get Kira's baby tooth, and they're going to use it. And Scott brings up this fact that a more like substantial thing to like stem cell thing would be bone marrow.
Yes.
Which is not awkward. Just, do we want to put Kira through that?
Yeah, it's a lot.
That's like surgery.
Yeah, bone marrow is like a thing. Like, like a full thing.
Yeah. So we're not sure if we want to do that. And she's still mad at Delphine, like locking her out of the lab. And then Delphine finds out about Leaky being dead. The Dyad says it's a heart attack because, they probably don't know what happened.
Right.
They assume that either he's dead or just like ran off.
Just like on the run.
Yeah, not that, some random Stepford husband killed him.
Which is, up and accidentally killed him.
Good to know. And so that's what Delphine's like, and Delphine's concerned about this whole thing now with like Rachel and just doing everything out of love. And then this is the one thing that Sarah's involved in. Delphine goes to the house and basically says like, we don't need Kira if we have Ethan and like all of his stuff. Then we don't need Kira. And Mrs. S, like, I feel this kind of shows that like when it comes to negotiating, Mrs. S is a lot smarter.
Yes. She's very intelligent.
Because she's done it before.
Yes.
And so Mrs. S is like, because like Sarah's like doesn't want to do it, and then Mrs. S is like, well, what else are we using him for?
Yeah, like we'll consider it. Thank you.
So we agree, and we'll get to that. And then Cosima plays some it's not Dungeons and Dragons.
No, it's some kind of tabletop. Like I'm not sure if it's like an RPG because it's more like they have rules and cards and stuff, but it's kind of like it's like a tabletop RPG.
Yeah, but then Delphine comes in and tells Cosima everything, and then they get baked and with helium.
Yeah, that was fun. I wasn't expecting them to use helium.
And it's great. An adorable little scene.
It's cute.
There's an adorable scene full of love confessions and and blackmail.
Yeah,
because Cosima basically says if you do ever, because like I think Cosima understands that Delphine did everything that she did out of love.
Yeah.
But basically says, if you do it again, I'm going to destroy you.
Yeah. She knows stuff on her. She's got dirt.
It's love, isn't it?
That's love.
Aw, that's so nice.
What about love?
You want to talk about Allison and Donnie?
Let's do it.
All right. So Donnie's a bit of a mess.
He's definitely a mess.
He's like dealt with a lot in the last like 24 to 48 hours.
Yes.
He found out his wife is a clone, that like people come into his house, that he was like helping them.
Yep.
He killed a guy. He's been through, like, he's kind of going through what Allison went through, basically just drinking all of her mini bottles. And Allison is not okay with it.
No, because she just came back from rehab, damn it.
And then we worry about the children because they're going to go save the night again at Grandma's.
The Grandma's probably getting sick and tired of them.
These kids have to wonder what's going on.
Aw, these poor kids.
But, so then Donnie's going to, like, leave. Probably not because of, like, all of this. It's probably because of, the dead body.
Yeah, because he's like, oh my god, I just murdered somebody. I have to leave right now.
And then Allison's like, nope, we're going to talk. And Donnie's just like, because, like, she's wondering, like, because of the monitor thing, like, did he ever love her?
Yeah.
And then he just starts crying, and then they hug, and
Aww.
he's like, sorry. And they're just going to they're patching things up.
Yeah.
It's adorable, and I love it. And they're so cute. And then they confess their murders to each other.
Oh, that's true romance.
I love it. Like, she just like whispers like what she did. Yeah. And he has a little look on his face, and she gets upset, and he's just like, "I killed Dr. Leakey." And then he shows her the body, and it's not well wrapped.
No,
she's gonna need to make a whole new lining. And also, like we said, Donnie used Allison's gun and put it back in her locker,
which is not smart, Donnie.
No, you should have just kept it with you. Oh, because like literally, because as you mentioned, like all the guns are registered under her name.
Yes, which is what you have to legally do in Canada.
Well, some of those guns that we're using are not legally.
Yeah, used. Some slip through the cracks.
All right, let's actually get to Tony. And so he goes to gets sent to Art brings him to Felix's.
Yeah.
And they're just like, holy crap. I don't know if nobody was really, I guess like when it comes to like all of the stuff going on, you don't really think, oh, one of these clones might be trans.
Yeah.
I got feelings on Tony. We'll get to it.
Okay.
So then Art says he's gonna go check out all the stuff. They want to basically. Well, Tony wants to tell Beth.
Yeah, and he will only tell Beth.
But then we reveal that Beth's dead.
Mm-hmm.
But Art says, I'm gonna go check everything out.
Yeah.
And then basically they want to see if they can just talk Tony into telling.
Yeah, without giving him the big reveal of being a clone.
Yes. So, Felix and Tony have a grand old time in his apartment. And they're both kind of playing each other.
Yeah.
And then Art comes back for a bit. You basically find out it's these two scenes that are combined. One is Art and Felix discussing what's going on with Felix, and that not with Felix, with Tony, and then everything kind of clears up. Yeah. And Tony just snooping and finding some paintings.
Yes, paintings that look suspiciously.
But they're still going to keep playing each other. Mm-hmm. And they're drinking a bit, and then there's a weird makeout thing.
Yeah.
Ew.
It was weird.
Ew.
Because I think Tony's just kind of a flirt, and then I forget what they're talking about, and then he just goes for it.
I think it's
and they're totally weirded out by it.
No, it's
because Tony looks like Sarah, and that's his sister, and that's weird.
I know they're not biologically related,
but they're siblings. But it's their siblings. Yeah,
Ew.
no, we're not. Disclaimer: it's not the trans thing. We're not by trans.
Oh no, I don't give it.
It's the sibling thing that's really weirded out by it.
Ew. Ew.
Yeah, exactly. And I was like, oh, I don't think I would want to do that.
Ew.
That'd be really weird.
But you can tell they're just playing each other, and then Tony just wants to know what's going on, so that finally Felix has to call Sarah.
Yeah.
Be you need to come over here.
Mm-hmm.
And finally Tony's about to leave and then sees Sarah, and he's just oh. And he's kind of cool with it.
He's just he's just down with the whole thing.
So then we get his message, which is basically the best saying, keep the faith. Paul's like me. He's a ghost.
Mm-hmm.
So something's up with Paul.
Mm-hmm.
And we haven't actually seen him in a while.
No, he's missing.
Well, he was in the last episode for a bit, but he hasn't been in this episode at all, and Rachel can't get a hold of him.
Mm-hmm.
So, that's a thing.
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel about that?
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting. Ghost. I wonder what ghost means.
Who knows?
Incorporeal.
Yes. So, as we said, we're going to go back to Rachel for a bit. Ethan is taken to Rachel's before they go. He's reading here The Island of Dr. Moreau and brings it up a couple times. I'm not sure if that's an appropriate book for a child.
Yeah, I'm not sure just by the subject material. I'm not sure if 8-year-olds should be reading that sort of thing, but okay.
But actually Ethan gives her the book that he was reading from.
Mm-hmm.
But then he goes to see Rachel, and Rachel's she keep it professional, like you do, and basically saying we're going to fix all of our problems, fix the problems. And then Rachel, who I think you can establish from her character arc, is kind of this person who had picked a career and now kind of wants to probably be a mother, her mother was.
Yeah.
And wants a child.
Yes.
And so she asked, why is this Sarah being able to have a child?
Yeah.
Because we don't really. I think we're just gonna say Helena can, from the fertilization, Helena can have kids too.
Yeah.
It's why? What did she say? Why the unmonitored? Called her a bad name.
No, I called her something.
Why? No, why the unmonitored?
Unmonitored tramp.
Why the unmonitored tramp and not me? Why is Sarah the chosen one?
Yeah, basically.
But turns out
Sarah's a mistake.
It's probably both of them are they're failures.
Right.
They were all barren by design, and Sarah was a fuck up.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
I mean, that makes sense on a scientific.
Yeah, and even Rachel says that.
Yeah. Yeah, scientifically, that makes a lot of sense.
You wouldn't want your clones.
Everything makes a lot of sense. Yeah.
Yeah, you wouldn't want your clones reproducing or anything. Right. But Rachel's not none too happy.
No, you can tell that's really gotten to her.
Yep. And this was not the end of the episode, as I remembered.
Mm-hmm.
But basically, we see Tony's going on a bus because he's hiding because it seems like people are still after him.
Yeah.
And they're gonna
these guys in suits. They don't know who the guys in suits are. I don't think we said that.
I think I think they said they might be dyads, but we don't know.
But not sure yet.
Yeah, and they don't want to. They basically want to protect Tony. Mm-hmm. So, but they give him a phone, and it's got 3 numbers: just Sarah, Art, and Felix.
Yeah.
It was a kiss goodbye.
Yeah.
I feel like that whole thing was just trying to play each other.
It was like a playful thing.
It was a play thing, and then now they're just kind of buddies.
Yeah.
So that's fun.
Mm-hmm.
We cut to Cosima and Scott, and they're about to meet Ethan, and they're all excited.
Yeah.
And then Cosima tells Scott that she's the clone, and it's adorable because he's all okay with it.
Yeah, he takes him out. He's like, oh. He's like, oh.
Are you happy that Scott's in Clone Club?
Yeah, he's good. He's good. He's a good kid.
I hope nothing bad happens in the rest of this. Spoilers. So
something bad happens.
Cosima starts coughing, and there's a lot of blood.
A lot of blood.
And then she has a seizure.
So much blood.
She has a seizure.
Yeah, she starts convulsing like hardcore.
So Cosima's. I think we have problems with Cosima, honey.
Yeah, I think something's up with her.
Like she might be. She might be dead soon. Who knows? You sad?
Yeah, a little sad.
A little
sad. Bummed out by that whole thing.
Before I get to this one thing, we gotta say one of our favorite lines. Holy Tilda Swinton.
Holy Tilda Swinton, which is a reference to
Tilda Swinton.
What?
I don't know.
Oh no! Wait.
Oh no, it's not a reference. We found it funny.
No, he said as a Swinton. Who is Tilda?
She was. You don't know who Tilda Swinton is?
I know who Tilda Swinton is, but no, I thought it was like a reference.
No, I think it's just he just said it.
Okay, didn't put anything. Okay.
Yes, I don't think it's anything. Oh, also the game that they were playing was Rune Wars.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it's a real game. So I have feelings on Tony, just like in general.
Mm-hmm. And
it's not great.
Okay.
Not like the character of Tony in general. I think he's it's just like I think he's fine.
Mm-hmm.
It's just kind of like it doesn't like if we look at like the diversity kind of on the show, it's mainly like Cosima, the fact she's a lesbian, then Art, is black, and like it doesn't define them. They're still just like people.
Yeah.
And like with Tony, it didn't like the reason like it's cool to bring in like a trans clone.
Mm-hmm.
I appreciate it, but it feels like they just kind of did it and like because people said it'd be cool if they did it and not because they had an idea for it.
Okay.
Because I'm just gonna like say this. This is the only time we see Tony.
Really?
We never see him again.
Ah.
Maybe
really?
like as far as I remember, I don't think we ever see him again. And it kind of so like that. So like I don't like love this episode, and like I remember I liked it a bit better this time, but like that always kind of bothered me, especially like watching it again.
Yeah,
it feels like they did it for the sake of doing it.
Yeah,
and then they didn't know what else to do with him, so then they didn't bring him back. However, like usually like with this show, like with any show, if you like it's that to me it's like a blunder, and you only have like one or two blunders in your entire show.
Yeah.
I forgive you,
but
like I feel like if they wanted to bring in a trans clone, they probably should have like figured out a better way to
like
bring
incorporated it more into like as a recurring kind of thing.
Yeah, instead of just, like it just feels like they did this because people said it'd be cool if they did it, not because they had an idea.
Right. Yeah, and it's like because you can make any character trans, really.
Yeah, and also like does Tony really do anything? All he does is bring a message. He doesn't do anything.
Right.
So like that, and like obviously like so that always kind of like bothered me with this episode.
Yeah.
Like the other stuff, like but then I was like rewatching and like, oh, this other stuff actually, there's a lot of important stuff that happens,
right,
in this episode. But I always just like remembered that and not liking it.
Yeah,
that like the fact that like thinking back, I'm just like, oh, like we never see this character again. Like I don't go back to this episode that often.
Right. You just kind of bummed me out there.
I'm sorry, but it's just like I have feelings.
No, that's a really good point. That is a really good point. I mean, could be worse though. Could have killed that character off. Because sometimes if you do something for like I guess the sake of representation, then you kill a character, you're like, oh, that's bad. That's bad. Don't
like most
bury your gaze. Don't bury your gaze. I
don't mind if like you kill off like if there's like one character. Because like the big thing about Cosima that's like awesome is that like yeah she's a lesbian, but that doesn't define her, and she's a character, and she's an important character. So like if they ended up killing her off, I wouldn't think it's because she was a lesbian. I think it would just be because like if he kills somebody off because of like and that's like all of their. Well, I have a point.
Okay, yeah, no, keep going.
Like if their only character like in like thing is that they're gay or they're trans and there's nothing else about them, and then he killed them off, that's upsetting. But if they're like a really or like they're a different color or whatever. That's bad, but if they're actually like if they're just a person who happens to be this, and they're really an important character, and then you kill them off because they're an important character, and maybe like something happened, and you had to kill them off for like plot development. Yeah, that's I'm fine with that.
But if you at the same time, I know what you're saying. At the same time, if like the number of characters like you kill off and like there's a unfair proportion of which happen to be, not more of your either gay or people of color. Then there's also a problem. There's a trope called bury your gays, which is one that I reference often.
Mm-hmm.
And the quick definition of that is gay characters are killed off disproportionately often.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just that more just a lot of gay characters happen to die.
Yeah, I will say this about Tony. Also, we don't. I guess is Tony want to be? I mean, he's trans. He's not gay. I don't think he's gay. Well,
no, very gay is that kind of. It falls under that. It's more of it's more.
Yeah,
of
yeah.
like an LGBT
What I will
thing.
say about Tony is from what I remember, I don't think he comes back, but I don't think they say that he died.
Okay,
I think he's still alive.
Okay, just not relevant to the plot.
Yeah, not sure about Cosima.
Well,
but again, Cosima's a character. She's not just a lesbian. She's a character.
No, well, that doesn't. It still doesn't matter necessarily when you're talking in terms of that trope and specifically. It doesn't necessarily matter how big of a role they play in it, because it's still you're picking that character to die, and sometimes it's just you have to for the plot, but it's a proportionality kind of thing. You have to look at it proportionally, and historically we're not at that point yet. I think we are at a point of greater representation, but we're not at the point yet where we can ignore the tropes that were so kind of heavily inlaid in the past. So it's kind of, we have to wait until we can kind of start re-exploring those kinds of things.
Yeah. But I mean, I think the show's really good at that. Tony's just they're kind of one blunder.
Yeah.
I forgive you for a blunder. They're really good with Cosima.
Yeah.
You gotta wait a month to find out though what happened to her.
Oh man. But no, that's a really good point though. Especially because I feel with characters who are gay, they are getting more representation. Doesn't mean it's enough, but more in the past few years. But I think trans characters are still not as much representation as they could be. Proportionally speaking, gay characters and then trans characters.
Media slow. We'll get there.
Well, we'll get there. So that was something that could have been, I don't want to say profitable, not even by a marketing standard, but just something that really could have been not even beneficial, but something that would have been worthwhile, I think, to have a character like that and keep a character, not even that character specifically, just a trans character would be great to have kept around for a lot longer. So yeah, that's kind of a bummer to hear.
That's just it's because I feel I couldn't have explained it better without just because I had the problems and just knowing from what I remember that Tony doesn't come back. I'm just I need to get this out.
Yeah.
So there's my thing, but I think we proved from that Tatiana Maslany is more perfect because I don't think it's one of her from compared to the other clones, it's not one of the best, but it feels that's a really hard thing to do.
Right.
And she did pretty good.
Yeah. So
good for her.
Good job.
So besides the fact that I kind of probably screwed this episode up for you a bit, what do you think?
No, that's good. That's good to know. That keeps things in perspective. I mean, I would have figured that out later, obviously, but good to know. Other than that, I mean, besides, I don't know, it's a good episode.
Yeah.
So
I think the whole Tony thing was kind of screwed me over.
Yeah,
but a lot happened.
No, a lot happened, and it was good. But
we learned a lot.
Yeah,
I always found it interesting the fact that Sarah wasn't this chosen one clone.
Right. She's not. She was the mistake.
She was a fuck up.
Yeah.
And that, Helena's also kind of a fuck up.
Right.
So that's just kind of interesting.
They done doubly messed up.
But also, I think this also kind of shows that probably the sickness comes from them trying to make them infertile, which probably I think brings up the idea that Sarah and Helena aren't going to get sick.
Right. That
probably
makes sense to me.
Kara's not going to get sick either.
Nah.
So that's good.
Yay.
Hooray. Woo. Do you have any theories about because the next time we record this, it's going to be finales.
Oh man!
So do you have any
finales
theories?
And premieres.
Do you have any theories about?
I'm trying to think what the big kind of what the big.
Well, we have Helena.
Yeah.
Paul's missing. Mm-hmm. Cosima being sick. The Hendricks gotta hide a dead body.
Allison did a whole musical on this. She knows.
Rachel might go, but Rachel's probably not okay. Mm-hmm. Other stuff. What do you think? Or you just don't know?
Well, I think it's interesting with Leaky kind of out of the picture now. I think we have to see another form of antagonist kind of like rise up, and it doesn't. I mean, maybe not, but I feel like somebody's gonna kind of come and take that kind of type of place that Leaky had. Not necessarily his position, but his kind of role as more of an antagonistic, but maybe not, but also then really a kind of force. So
also
could be interesting.
We've got Cal still out there. We got Paul somewhere.
Paul's still out there.
Mrs. S.
Yep.
Ethan.
Yes.
There's a lot that could happen in these.
So many characters.
This could end wonderfully or poorly.
Or terribly.
Who knows?
Oh no.
Well.
Oh no.
Anyway, comment corner?
Let's get to a comment corner. We got some YouTube comments for you. Soon as I load them on
Oopsie. I did not walk that many steps today, but that is okay.
All right, I have one from Pat the Man.
Sure.
This is a long one. Okay. Just an afterthought. Was wondering about the image on screen. From my perspective, it flipped like a mirror image. Is that fixable for the next video, or just something that's unavoidable? Not a big deal. Just wondering. It's strange. It's strange seeing the steering wheels on the right side when the show takes place in Canada.
Yeah. So I edit the reactions. I flip it.
Yeah.
Because you can do that in Premiere, which we mainly do for copyright reasons. Because I think if you mirror it, it's kind of you get away from.
It's a little bit harder to detect via copyright.
Yeah. So we're gonna keep it flipped, but only just so that we can like save ourselves and not have any videos blocked like some of them are.
That's happened to us before. So we're just trying to cover our own asses there, basically.
Yeah. So sorry if it distracts you, but we got to do it.
But if you want to watch it, that's how you're gonna have to watch it.
Yeah. Sorry.
Then another one from Pat the Man that says, a thought just came to me, so I thought I'd get it out now. March 16. What? Vid time? March 16.
I think it's the section of the video.
Oh, yeah. Okay, vid time 307. Was thinking to myself about what you guys could watch, and Bitten popped into my head. You guys should do more of the show at the beginning of the week and the other shows near the end. What do you guys think?
I don't know did you want us to watch Bitten?
Yeah.
It's a show on Netflix.
Suggestion? Yeah, I've never actually seen it. I don't know anything about it.
I've looked it up I'll look it up real quick. It's on Netflix. I'm not
it's a Canadian television series based on The Women of the Other World series of books by author Kelly Armstrong.
Oh, it's a werewolf show.
It's a werewolf show. Oh.
Elena Michaels tries to stray from the pack of werewolves that turned her into a monster, but her efforts are thwarted by a string of grisly murders.
Okay.
I don't know if you mean because the thing with first reaction, fan reaction is one of us has to have seen the show.
Yeah.
And neither of us have seen the show.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that's kind of how we pick shows is one of us has to seen it before and the other has.
But I mean, maybe later on one of us could just let me check. I don't know if it's still on or not.
If you think it's a good show and it's just a suggestion though, thank you.
It's 3 seasons as far as I can tell.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't even know the show.
Okay.
Original release from January 2014 till April 2016. So
yeah.
I think it's over now.
Yeah, so maybe later on one of us will watch it all the way through and then we'll do the reaction to it.
Maybe, yeah, it's a good
suggestion. Thank you for a suggestion.
We'll check it out.
Yeah. Right now I think we're going to do shows definitely one of us has seen all the way through and one of us hasn't.
Yeah.
And then later on when we probably have more time to commit to watching more television.
Yeah, I think we each have the next
one or two
series.
shows.
Yeah, a couple series picked out. So we have enough kind of content to go for a while, but eventually we'll run out and we appreciate the suggestion. So thank you.
Yes. Anything else?
I have one from Jason Burns that just commenting on our last reaction says, Sarah in the hoodie of invisibility.
I love that one so much. And she adds it a lot. Sarah in the hoodie of invisibility. It's great. That's good. I think we're going to call it that from now on.
Hoodie of invisibility. So yes, we might pick that one up. So thank you, Jason.
Yep, and also maybe we'll take some pictures of ourselves with our hoods of invisibility.
But you won't know if we actually did it because we won't be able to see it.
All right.
Yeah.
Are we good?
We are good.
All right, so that's the end of this episode of First Reaction Fan Reaction. If you're watching this on YouTube, thank you. And you can subscribe to our channel and like us and leave a comment, and we'll read them. It'll be great, guys.
Yay.
Also, to remember to turn on your notifications. We've had some people mention that, so remember that. We are on Facebook under Witty Clothes Productions, so leave us a like or a comment on a post, whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
We're on Twitter at Witty Clothes, so follow us there.
Yeah, we
retweet
read
our stuff
on this show.
Or tweet at us.
Yeah.
You can do that. We have an email, wittyclothes@gmail.com if you want to send us anything. We are on Patreon at Witty Clothes Productions. I forget if it's Witty Clothes or just Witty Clothes Productions.
Just look up Witty Clothes and you'll find us.
Yep, and hopefully we can get to at least like $50 a month and we can start our Lifetime movie podcast.
We were really excited about that one.
We're really excited. Also, we're on iTunes. So if you want to listen to us on the go, you can do that, and you can rate and review us. Please and thank you.
Yeah, we'd really appreciate seeing those.
And
if it's good, we might read it on the show.
And I think that's everything.
Yeah.
So that's it for this episode. We're going to return next week with the finale of season 2.
Oh, man.
With episode 9, Things Which Have Never Yet Been Done.
Oh.
And episode 10, By Means Which Have Never Yet Been Tried.
Oh. Ooh.
That should be fun, but Caitlin's got to wait a month.
Oh, man. Wish me luck, guys.
All right, guys. Peace.
Peace.
Yeah.